Welcome everybody. We are back with another podcast, and we weren't really on YouTube for like a week. This thanks to me being ill, and the fact that COVID and stuff is presented in my family. So yeah, we cannot really come together with Patrick to edit videos. But now we have this podcast, and in this podcast we will talk about uh, um I would say a very common 21st century topic, but also still one of the most important ones, which is getting out of our comfort zone. And as usual, Patrick and Domi are with me.
Welcome back, everyone. So yeah, it's a general question, and well, it's always an important part of life. That how wide is our comfort zone, and what we do, what we do that scares us is always have an impact on our lives.
Yeah, definitely. Because getting so we so used to living in our everyday routines and everyday lives that um getting out of it is one of the scariest experiences that we can have, and so one of the most uplifting as well. Um, but before we getting really into it, is Patrick here?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
okay. Just
So,
wanted.
yeah, I have a question for you, actually. So, how would you describe comfort zone, generally as well and personally? What is comfort zone when it comes down to you? What is your comfort zone? What do you consider as your own comfort zone?
Yeah, I so generally speaking, I believe comfort zone is the place which you are every day in, which you used to be in. It's your everyday experience which you totally got used to, and it's a routine. And getting out of it is when you completely break that routine with something new and a totally new experience. And personally speaking, my comfort zone is mostly uh, I would consider that it's being with my friends and family and people who I know and knew for long. I would consider, of course, my home as my comfort zone. It's like a safe space, which and you feel that nothing can go wrong, which is of course not true, but you feel like nothing can go wrong. And and doing everything within your home and within my known surroundings, which I consider my personal comfort zone, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, definitely.
So also, generally speaking, yeah, it's well, not place, of course, an imaginary place
Yeah.
we live in. So yeah, it's where what you are used to, and yeah, everyday life. And for me, well, everything I do that's new, everything I haven't done before, is a step out of my comfort zone, of course. So if I change something just a little bit in my routines, like going on a different road to school, that would be a step out of comfort zone. And with these little steps, you can broaden this zone, and that is the best thing, that it is built. It's not happening overnight, and everybody wake up or born with defined circle. No, it is something you can actually work on day by day, step by step, and it's personal, so it's just dependent on you, not no one else. No one can really change your comfort zone. Your experiences made it the way it is, and well, how can you get more experience? Of course, actually doing something, getting up, and reaching for your goal. And the main and an important part I have to mention, that everybody is usually just talking about it. So like, yeah, you have to do new things, but talking won't really get you out of this. This won't make that much difference. Action that will have the impact. And talking about something is not equal to doing the same thing you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Patrick? For your own
It's like,
question.
alright, so yeah, of course, you guys have mentioned that like comfort zones generally, like, you know, consider a circle like on a paper, and those things that you are do on daily basis, that things are in that specific circle that you've just you know you know put on that paper, and stepping like outside of the comfort zone is of course quite uncomfortable and inconvenient as well, and most of the times it feels like you are lonely, it feels like you are harmed, you are feeling destroyed, you feel bad vibes, and you don't feel the same as you used to do when of course you've been, you know, doing those things on daily basis that you've done before. However, there are some quite good reasons why you should you know, get out of your comfort zone and try to um, make some difference in your life, try to broaden your horizon. And I would say the the most significant one is personal growth, because without, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone, it's not possible to grow, it's not possible to gain more experience, it's not possible to uh, keep moving forward, it's not possible to get to know new people, for instance, or you know, build communication skills and build a community maybe. And it's really important to concentrate first of all when it comes into comfort zone, and I believe Domi just said this before, that it's not about others, it's about just you, it's about yourself, it's about your agenda that you actually contribute to life, to your own life. And it's really important to you know, try to shape that specific area of your life when it comes on to your comfort zone. And it's really important to push the boundaries, it's really important to push the limits. of this specific circle. And there are some other things as well, like of course via just personal growth. This is like a personal experience for me, because like considering myself like a year ago maybe, I would say I was a whole different person, and I would say I've changed a lot. And it wasn't because of my surroundings, because of the people who I am surrounding myself with, or it wasn't because I moved, or it wasn't because I had so like shit ton amount of experiences. It's not because of that, but it because of my attitude, my work ethic, and of course my dedication towards this movement in my life, this growth in my life, and this contribution to shape that specific circle that I have into something else. It shouldn't be a circle. It shouldn't be any other shape of like others' lives. So you can't actually compare other shapes of other people, like the comfort zones of other people to yours. It's not possible, of course. So you really need to concentrate on yourself when it comes down to shaping your comfort zone, and how to actually try to get as close to your limitations as possible. And it's significant. And you can just try to focus on the others, like just as I have mentioned before, you can compare your shape to others, because you cannot just like copy them when it comes down to this. Because via just pushing your boundaries, a whole new personality is actually on its way, and it is ready to be born, when something that you are trying to fit in every single day of your life. It can be an activity, it can be any kind of stuff. It's not just an activity, but it could be like a new object that reminds you of something that is really that scares you, for instance, and you have to this fear of yours every single time that you look at that specific item that is standing on your desk, for instance. And just by doing these activities, trying to face your problems, fears, a whole new personality is actually on its way, as I've mentioned before, of course. And this is what happened to me. My days are quite different right now, but I don't really would like I wouldn't like to just talk that much, because I believe I've gotten into other stuff as well. So like, yeah, this is what comfort zone is for me. All in all, to just sum it up shortly and briefly, so it's like, for me, it's a circle that I don't want to be a circle, and I really want to shape it as like as no one else does, and on my own. So it shouldn't match other shapes of other people.
Yeah. I recommend you guys watching Yes Man, the movie, because so personally, it made me think a lot about this whole topic. So our everyday decisions that we make, how can it influence our future? And of course, in the movie, there are several, well, imaginary situations, but still, the idea that saying yes more often can actually has a beneficial side on our lives. And well, I experienced it. I don't know since when, but when I started to first think about what will happen if I say yes to an opportunity, rather than saying no and of walking off by any chance. I dropped into situations which gave me that experience, which gave me that new feeling that I really love, and it's an achievement, I think, when you solve a new problem, when you're in a situation that you haven't faced before, and well, when others know you as a guy who is into situations, who is into new situations, then it will generate a continue of it. So they will invite you to places because they believe that you will say yes. And this has a it's profitable. It's really, really profitable when this will give you a life that you can say it wasn't boring. Always there was always happening something, and for me that is, well, my goal, to always face something and to not get bored from the usual shit that's happening. No, we have to face new challenges, and when people can trust you in finding these new ways, then you will have a group that helps you along your way, and that's just awesome.
Yeah, because like if you think about how many times in life we've got opportunities that are risky, and we say no to it, we so the times that it happens, it's always leaving something behind. It's always like leaving an idea, leaving an opportunity behind. And if it happens more and more in your life, you will find yourself that you're more and more ignorant towards new things, because this is not like a line that you say, hey, I won't do that, and I won't do that, like one specific thing and then another specific thing. This is like a circle, because if you have one thing that you will not do, then there will be another thing and another and another. And of course, till like a certain point, you need stuff that you won't do, or you need a borderline. But if it happens with things that are just genuinely good, or an extreme experience, then you want to find yourself that you got the opportunities of living exciting, of living the new. You will just get to the same shit all over again, the same routine all over again, because you said no to opportunities. And yeah, what is really, really hard, I believe, in case of your comfort zone, is to judge that what is getting out of your comfort zone and what is and what is a borderline thing which you shouldn't do, which crosses the line, because there are of course stuff that crosses the line, and I believe that people tend to get this line way before than it should be because of their fears, and not because it's like a morally bad thing or it's like actually harmful. No, because they are afraid. They put this line way ahead than actually it should, where actually it should be. And in this case, the fact is that people tend to not get out of their comfort zone thanks to they are being afraid, and not because something is really too risky, because of course there are too risky things, but no, a lot of people don't get out of the comfort zone because the fear is ahead, and facing that fear honestly sucks. And what you said about saying yes, and this we could call yes theory, is that you actually always broaden this line, and you get it closer and closer to where it actually should be, where it's actually a moral line of the things that you don't do.
Yeah,
of course.
and nowadays in today's society, confidence is a very, very important trait of one's. I could say also it's even a little bit overrated, but still in connection with comfort zone, we have to mention that this is what builds it. It's the foundation of confidence, becoming confident. Because how can you trust yourself? How can you not trust yourself when you know you have accomplished so much? And I truly believe that people who make things far from far behind their comfort zones will become the most charismatic and confident people, because if you face your fears and yes, try to stay in the legal zone also, but if you face your fears, that's just improves your ability in life, in every single part, and confidence. You won't regret having confidence. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I can agree with that 200%. Of course, confidence is one of the key things in life. You really need to balance your ego and your humble side of your personality. So you really need to balance these two out, of course. But I would say your ego is quite important these days. In today's world, it's one of the greatest things that you can have as an asset of your personality. It's beneficial. It actually saves you a lot of pain. It saves you from harm. It actually has a good impact on you until the place where you're able to um put some kind of limitation on it, and you have control over it. You have control over your ego, and I would say that your ego and your confidence actually can be mixed into the same thing. because that's what I experience as a matter of fact. And yeah, we have some really good comments here. So
Yeah,
and I really wanted to add this as well, that is actually in front of me. So first things first, yeah, I can tell you that your personality won't be complete at any time. If you're mentally a healthy person, you will always have to step out of your comfort zone to experience new things in your life. And it is even true when you are unable to become a stable person mentally, or you don't have that healthy kind of mindset of yours. And it's really true.
yeah, yeah.
It's true as hell.
Yeah, because so no matter where you are at your life, you can be a teenager, you can be an adult, you can be old. New things are always ahead, because because it's mathematically impossible to try out every single thing in life. Of course, it's possible that you don't want to try out new things, but it's especially when we're talking about being young and or being an adult, not trying out new things, it will close your personality, because it's never completed. But if you don't try to get new things into your personality, then it's not just won't be completed, but it also will be more and more there will be more and more holes in it, because you're literally fueling yourself from your past, because you don't get new experiences, you don't get out of your comfort zone, and your personality starts to have like little holes on them, if that makes sense in a metaphoric way, of course, not
Yes, definitely.
literally.
It made
Yeah.
it made a lot of
Another
sense.
thing that came to my mind, a metaphor. Imagine you yourself driving a car, the car of life, so called. And how can you become a better driver? By driving the same road again and again, which don't show anything new, or trying or going on different roads, even different countries, and experiences new new traffic situations. And of course, traffic is always changing. I believe this is a great example, because the two things, they're both can be identified with each other. So traffic is changing. You can't say that if I go there, I won't experience new things, because you will. The question is, how will you react? And by reacting, I mean we all have crisis situations when we don't really know what to do, and when we need to act fast, then our experiences from the past will control us, and they will bring us they will show us the right way. And in life, that's also true. When you're stuck in something, then the experiences, and then these experiences will get you moving and show you how to react and act greatly. If that's understandable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Because like if you think about it, so new experiences will come in our way, no matter we like it or not. Of course, if you're a kind of person who tries to push themselves out of their comfort zone, you will have more new experiences. But even those will get some new experiences who are in their comfort zone, because life pushes you to have. And the difference between these two type of people will be that the one who actively wants to get out of their comfort zone, the one who works on getting out of their comfort zone, will much easier for them. It will be much easier to deal with that new than the one who lives in their comfort zone. While just because they got so many new things in their life, so much more new things in their life, that resulted that something new won't surprise them that much. Something new won't make an enormous impact on them. Of course, it will still impact in a good way, but when we're talking about a new situation that stresses you out, it will stress you out less because you've already been in that situation so many times. Like in that new kind of stressful situation when something is new and it stresses you out because you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. While those ones who live in their comfort zones just get those new experiences with the whole ass of stress.
Yes, definitely. Of course. And it's really true, I would say. And I would say that considering life, and and sometimes I just ask myself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to really push my boundaries and trying to, get as close to my limits as possible, to trying to get out of this comfortable place that I'm in. And every single time that I ask myself, I usually say, yeah, it's definitely worth it. And it's because that in order to evolve as a person, in order to understand the world more, in order to have like a broadened horizon, what surrounds you, in order to understand the system that you're living in order to understand every single thing that is actually surrounds you, that you are surrounded with, you really need to forget about your personality for a split second and just write down on a paper what you do on daily basis and try to focus on doing those things instead that is not present in your days until when it becomes reality. And this is what you have to do. You really need to feel uncomfortable on daily basis in order to grow exponentially, in order to be a better self of yours, in order to be better, not just like be better as a person, but like as for instance as a father of a family, as a worker at a workplace, as like a CEO of a company. you really need to reconsider your life when it comes down to the topic of comfort zone. And I really like to add this one comment here because it's really great, that, and it's actually connected, it will be connected, I promise, that it says that too many people think that it would affect their old lives if they got out of their comfort zone. And I believe it's really true. And I will say one sentence in connection with this. In addition, they are afraid of other people's opinion. And this is what we have to concentrate on. This is what is actually one of those things that I hate. I literally hate when it comes down to living in today's society. Because of social media, because of social tension, peer pressure and stuff like that, most of my mates, I would say, those people who are at the same age just as I am, it's an unfortunate thing for them because they really give something when it comes down to being afraid of others' people's opinion. They really care about others' opinion. And it's one of the most harmful things that you can do to yourself. It's one of those things that shouldn't be present in your life. Who cares? Who cares about other people? Who cares about your, I would say, and I believe I can say it, who cares about your family? Who cares about what your family think about you? Who cares about what your friend thinks about you? Sorry. Who cares about what others think about you? Who cares about those opinions that are on social media? Who cares about those opinions which are, for instance, on other websites? Who cares about those opinions from those people who you literally don't know about? Not a simple thing, not their name either. And I would say it's one of the greatest failures and errors of every single person in this system. And when it comes down to, I just wanted to add one sentence as well. I've mentioned it, that they are afraid that they will actually getting out of your comfort zone, doing some crazy shit, and in the end they will regret it because it will change their path, it will change their fate when it comes down to old age. And I just want to add one simple sentence, that that a human being is so vulnerable. Your life can be ruined in just a split second, but you don't understand that. Your whole life can be fucked up just in a minute. And considering the fact that every single negativity in your life is actually right around the corner, and you don't need to move you don't need to move fastly, you don't need to move quickly in order to get there. You will get there. There will be some negative shit in your life, and it's definitely a thing. And your life can be ruined just in a split second. I mentioned it before. Who cares about old age? As for myself, I predict that I won't even, live that long. And I'm okay with that. And I know why. And I literally know the reason behind my thoughts, why I won't be able to live as long, for instance, as my mates. And I'm okay with that. And I will take the risks, and I would rather live a life full of memories, live a short life full of memories and full of enjoyment and full of positivity and full of those things that I really care about. Either living a long life, but don't really achieving neither of my goals. And as a matter of fact, true hell arrives when you actually see the person you could have become. And this simple sentence actually scares me every single time when I wake up in the morning. This is the first sentence that pops into my head. That in the end, true hell arrives when you actually meet the person you could have become. And I don't want that. I believe no one.
Yeah. And you know what I really believe? That we care a lot about how, as you said, how is it gonna be when you are old? How is it gonna be when you're older? You don't want to risk that, or what will others think? And you know what is weird in these thoughts, even though all of us have it. Sorry, is so. What is weird here is the fact that you don't build your life to become old. You don't build your life to become somebody's perfect match. I mean, to become um, to fulfill somebody's opinion on you. You're not you're not building a life that fulfills others or fulfills your future self. You're building a life in the present. And if you're not building it in the present, then it will just slip away. If you're building it for others, it will just slip away because it will either just stick in the future or it will stick in a situation where it's not actually yours. And under this, I really mean that your current self, what lives at this fucking moment. And this means that you wanna build a good and enjoyable and exciting life for that self of yours. Because that's the only one that exists in one moment. And yes, you are building, you have some kind of plans to future, and yes, in the present you are building your future, and sometimes you have to consider your future, but the actual fact is that you can build your future if you not worry about your future, because your future can only be a whole picture if it's fulfilled with lots of new things that you experienced and you wanted to experience. Or at least that's what I believe.
Oh, that's deep. So I love your opinions and thoughts on it. Back to the comments about other people's opinions. The funny thing is that everybody, so it's present in everybody. Everybody is seeking for others' approval, but nobody really cares about your life. We have to accept that for so this may be hard, but when we're talking about one's life and future, nobody really cares about it more than you do. So why would you build your decisions on others' thoughts? Because everybody is building their own lives and making their decisions I have to. I want to show you with an example. So, like, try this out. You go to the public place and simply lie on the ground. You will feel like everybody is watching you and they will laugh, and I don't know what will happen. I'm terrified. But what others will think, they will look at you and think about themselves. So if I look so long that this will be strange, I want to look. So I will just go out, go away to not look strange with these strange people. And they're thinking about themselves, what they will think about them, and really, they don't look at you like you're the strange one. They just think that they don't want to, well, be connected with an what's the unaccepted thing. And so this is funny. Trying this. So just these simple things like really lying on the ground or putting your hands up while walking on the road. People feel wrong with it. People might feel awful, or it could be hard for them doing this. But really, nothing happens when you do these things. Nothing. People might smile. Wow. So yeah, try this out. Another comment. So young people at your age have really hard times because of these things. But if I think it over, this is a big problem in every age. And yeah, that's true. 100%.
Yeah, like
This is present in every age, yeah.
yes, because like in every age you're getting older, and then in every age you still care about people's opinion. Like I also what Patrick said, because if I'm not mistaken, this was to Patrick's thought, and yeah, this is, so the whole topic itself is not just considered as true to young people or to young adults. It's true for all ages, or like I really think it is true for all ages. And honestly, if I can be an old person who still experiences new in their life, I literally gonna be the happiest. And because that will mean that I never got out of the loop of knowing the new and seeking the new. And if I have like if I should really say one goal in my life, it really is the fact that don't step away from the new. Like no matter the age I am in, I could still say yes to the new things, because then you will not be rigid. Your personality won't be boring, your life won't be boring, and your knowledge won't be rigid. Because it's always fueling itself from the newest things. And
I would
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can go on. You can go on.
So I would say we can even make difference between levels. So like we were talking about ages right here, but in this topic, I would say it's another scale. So it is built on your experience with these things. So it isn't connected to how old are you. It is connected to how many things have you experienced during your life. So yeah, I would say we can talk about in a new scale. So how old are you in this journey of comfort zone? So experiencing, because if you look at two people, a 20 year old and a 30-year-old, you can experience that. You can find it out that the 20-year-old guy is more mature and has more experience and more challenge and more joy or achievement reached than the 30-year-old because of this mindset. So it is built on ourself, not the age. It's interesting.
Yeah. I can 100% agree with that. Um, yeah, and I just really want to get a little bit into practicality. So if we consider real life situations, what are the genuine things that you would say is out of the comfort zone for most of the people, or for you? Of course, personal experience is always so cool.
Would you like to start off with this, Domi?
Well, I have to collect my thoughts.
Alright, so as for me, and it's a personal experience, so 1 year ago, I was like, oh yes, there should be some change in my life and I should start new things. And yeah, it wasn't that constant. You know, the consistency wasn't there throughout this 1 year period. But in the end, every single thing actually come together eventually. So it's a great thing. And I have to mention, and I would say there should be a disclaimer at this moment that even though trying to push yourself to your own limits and try to push the boundaries and try to shape your circle on your own, you really need to consider on the fact that you need energy. You need more energy to do that. You need a shit ton of dedication, work ethic, and you have to humble yourself. You have to have enough ego and confidence as well in order to do these things. You have to face your fears every single day. You have to control stress on daily basis and learn about how to control stressful situations. You really need to learn how to live uncomfortably. First of all, and of course, these skills can be learned just throughout your journey of becoming a better person. And as for me, what I do on daily basis, I would actually list those things right now, and I will try to reflect what 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 things I did back then, like a year ago. So right now, like lately, every single day, I try to wake up as early as I can, and I have like an allowance of sleeping hours off, which consists of like 4 to 6 hours, and it's not in order to kill myself. It's in order to build discipline and to uh, try to push my boundaries, and not just like not just like considering my personality and mindset, but my whole system as a body. And I'm trying to reset my biometric system as well, and it's one of the hardest things, I would say, because when the weekends are on the corner, I am usually tired and I'm exhausted, because right off the bat my alarm clock goes off, and I usually put my phone the furthest from my bed that I can find in the specific room, whether it's my room, whether it's like another room. We will talk about that later. And it's because of one simple thing, because when you can't reach to your phone, it's not like in a distance that you can reach to, then you really need to get up, and you need to wake up, and you need to move your muscles right after you've just woken up, in order to shut down the alarm. So it's a great thing, and after that you won't go back to bed because you are already up. It's like a simple psychological thing, I would say. It's like because the first thing, in the morning, right after that, I usually it's gratitude time, I would say. So this is the time that I have, like, for myself. It's like 10 minutes to be grateful for what I have, and grateful for all those experiences that I've actually made to become true, and I've actually made to become present. So this is beside those things that we mentioned, this is a significant one as well, that sometimes you need to stop, at least on daily basis, and reconsider what you have achieved just by trying to push yourself to your limits. It's really important to understand that yes, you've done a shit ton of progress today and throughout your whole journey of becoming a better person, of course. I usually face my fear like one of my biggest fears is that I won't be able to give. And it's simple as that. I won't be able to give happiness to other people. I won't be able to give, like, when it comes onto materialistic stuff, I won't be able to give money back to my parents. When I grow up, I won't be able to give enough attention to others. And I'm struggling with this on daily basis, with this thought of mine that in the future I want to give a lot to other people, to those ones who I literally love, or those ones who are in need as well. And I face this fear every single day, and it's like it's a thing that it's I consider it as how would you say this word? Compulsory. Yeah, it's a compulsory thing for me to face my fears. This is like one of my fears. I have a lot of fears. I won't mention them right now because the list can go until midnight, actually. So yeah, right after that, I get into a cold shower, and it really gives me, that pump before the day actually takes off. And then I try to do those things that I really enjoy, whether it's like chilling around a little bit, so or actually move on to work and stuff like that. And yes, this is why I've mentioned these things like in order, because you have to understand that even though you're trying to push your limits and your boundaries, you need to make up a system. You need to make up a system as well. So like, you know, even though you're not comfortable, you have to, you really need to make up like a check-up list, you know, a checklist, I would say. And in order to, you know, follow your steps throughout the day, you need to build routines out of uncomfortable things as well. You need to make routines out of those things that's like out of your comfort zone, because in order to fit these things into your days, into your daily life, besides those things that you are really feel comfortable doing it, then you need to, you know, try to put both of these in together in one day. And the only way to do that is to make up some plan for the day. And what I do regularly is that when there's a thought that hits me, I actually don't give any single time for that for myself. It actually takes like 5 seconds. I usually, you know, count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then let's do it. It's a great thing. So like, because most people, I would say, actually, like you've mentioned this, Roland, before, that I believe both of us are actually afraid of starting off with your duties during the day, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like you consider these shit on off activities that are actually waiting for you to do them, and it's scary as well. And in order to push myself to not procrastinate, because I do that a lot lately, and I'm really furious because of that. I'm furious on myself, unfortunately. It's a bad thing. Don't do that, guys. To, you know, when it comes onto my mind, of course, yeah, you have to do that. Then I actually count to 5, and then I do that. So I actually try to not give a simple chance of not doing it. And of course, as I've mentioned before, I literally could talk like for hours, but I don't want to steal the spotlight from you guys. So yeah, that would be it.
Well, what you have mentioned, and well, if nothing, you guys, nothing will remember from this podcast. Just that one thing is, well, cold showers. Cold showers have a benefit. Oh no, so I won't talk about the biological reactions, but the mindset that it builds. So like turning down the heat, that is scary for most of people, and therefore it's easy. It's really easy if you think about it. So you don't have to spend well, nothing, no time seriously, but it's a training for your mind to do what you don't want to do. So I absolutely recommend it. You try this out. What's my biggest step out of comfort zone was and will be in the next years is so I applied for an exchange program, and I don't know if this will take place in this year because of COVID-19, but that opportunity, that challenge, so it would mean that I will live with 3 families during 1 year, so 3 months in each family in another country, 2 going to another school, trying a new, getting into a whole new, world, and trying to pick up their habits and understand them. That would be a whole new, feeling and experience. Another thing that is really easy, like cold showers, is just telling your feelings, showing your emotions, asking the questions that you think is strange or think that is not acceptable, because I see this a lot of times. People are afraid of showing their emotions, and I just can't understand why. So, like, peer pressure or whatsoever. Why would we be afraid of asking something we don't know? Because this is present in humans, and it's just crazy. So when you don't know something, why wouldn't you ask? And therefore you will know it in the future. It's that simple. Or also showing your emotions, because you don't know how will other people react, or what if they will say something about it. What if I get negative reaction, one dislike whatsoever? Why wouldn't you try it? And maybe they will appreciate your work. Maybe they will not. What will happen? Nothing, really. And that's just practical advice I can give you. Don't really care about these things. So speak what is on your mind. Speak what's on your heart, because nobody else will gonna do it for you. And if you're afraid of something and don't do it, then this fear will grow. And if you feed the fear, it will grow out you. And if you can't connect your fears, you're facing a life that is not really not fit for you. So the main thing is, if you can destroy a fear by doing it, and no law or things like that are in your way, then just simply do it. Period.
Yeah, honestly, very, very true thought. And I really wanted to reflect on the asking thing that you were mentioning, because because in a very low scale, in a very small scale, not asking is actually coming from being afraid of the unknown and being afraid of judgment, which are the same things that forced you to stay in your comfort zone. Um, and this is because this is because of of the fact that it sticks you in one place. And when you not ask, you don't ask something that you don't know, then you will stuck in the same space as well. Then you will be afraid that you are judged because you don't know something, and also you're afraid the fact that there is something that you don't know, and that's something that I really consider as a small step to get out of your comfort zone. Literally, if you can't get over the fact that you don't ask questions about things that you don't know, then you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And this is very important to mention because we tend to think getting out of our comfort zone is just for the crazy stuff, you know, just for the jumping out of the helicopter situation. But no, stepping out of your comfort zone means all the things that really is not in your everyday experience, but you still get it. But you still do it. Yeah, and yeah, if asking things as not in your everyday experience, and it is not for a lot of people, according to my experiences, then it's an out of the comfort zone. And I believe if you have to start there, it's kind of worth it, because then the next time you can do a bigger thing and a bigger and a bigger, and you can experience new and new. And also by asking a lot, you will get to know way more. And so again, you also have another possibility to broaden your horizon.
Yeah. So find a way, find the ways you can improve the quality of your life, and that will lead to a better life. Simple, right? Because and I have to bring my my example back. Driving. If you don't practice driving on a daily basis, and if you're stuck in the same road for a long period of time, then when something happens, and what we know about life is it's just unpredictable. Things will happen that will need your focus, your whole focus on the thing. So, like talking about COVID, nobody predicted this, but we have to find solutions, and from what? So this isn't common virus or a situation. No. But still we have to deal with it, and with our constant trying to solve these problems, that will give us that it's this just all required. So sometimes you can't get out of a way, can't miss these things, because they will jump in your life, and you have to face it, or they will, well, depends on the situation, but sometimes you have to face them, and yeah, I lost in my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, see, you know, I believe the situation is very much that it is so hard to talk about the topic of comfort zone. And I mean, the topic of stepping out of your comfort zone, because it's an experience. And honestly, when you try to convince people that it is a good thing, when you try people to say that, hey, actually get out of your comfort zone, it's worth it, you can have whole ass of thoughts and things why you should do that, but until you don't have such experience, until you don't feel how good and how memorable that is, and also how good that is for your personality, you will don't see why people say to you to get out of your comfort zone.
And also,
yeah.
it's personal.
Yeah.
So you can't just give advices to cover the whole topic, because for what's working for somebody isn't working for another person, of course.
Yeah.
Therefore, we won't teach you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, with whom to do it, where to do it, because that's on you. That's on you guys. You have to find those, but because we can't touch this comfort zone, we can't really define it, because it's changing. So it's changing on a daily basis with each person. My comfort zone today has grown a bit, just a bit, and if I did something I didn't do before, and therefore I recommend it to you to do it, but you have already done it and it's common to you, you're used to it, then I won't help with this advice. So just the mindset here. Here, the important factor is the mindset, to be able to jump into these opportunities that life gives you, because life life will give you several opportunities, opportunities. And when you're used to saying yes to these, then this will exponentially grow, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, if you somehow can concentrate in your everyday life to actually get out there and put yourself out there and step out of your comfort zone, then you will feel the benefits of it, you know. Or I really think you will feel the benefits of it, and when I see when I experience it, I do know how big of my personality grew, and so when it is added up from the small things, from the really small things, the small things that you get out, that you were mentioning, those little getting out of your comfort zones will also add up. Pretty big benefit, I would say.
Yeah, and also another thought just came to my mind. Well, what I have experienced during my life is well, organizing something, anything, will get you out of your comfort zone. That will have so many new things in it. That is always changing. So like when you're trying to invite people and set up a party or set up a meeting with people, that is for me. And yeah, right now just personal experience, so it won't fit to everybody, but it's growing my circle, really, because it requires so many things to connect. So to see the whole page, to solve every little detail, to see in front of you what you want, and to work for it. Because like when you're organizing something, you literally creating something from nothing, right? So you search for a place, you search for people, you search for the food or whatsoever. Yeah, they are present, but you are the one that's creating and connecting these things to actually make you a memorable memory. And well, with people also, people will always show you something new because everybody has another life and other experiences. So, like talking with people, talking with new people, especially, will grow your circle. And I believe we've been talking a lot, so we might be coming to the end of this podcast.
Yeah,
But Roland,
yeah. I also think we're getting closer to the end of this podcast. If you guys don't have any other thoughts, Patrick, Dominic, anything else you would like to add?
well, I believe Patrick has left the chat.
Yeah, I don't think so, actually. So yeah, there was a reason. There was a reason behind the fact that I was muted. There's a shit ton of things going around in the house right now, even though it's like 11 p.m. But who cares about time? And I would say that you guys actually cleared a lot of things, but I would have something else as well that I would say it is another significant one to talk about. I believe we should talk about this like quite briefly because we are running out of time. Actually, we would have plenty of time, but I believe we've covered a lot of things, and it is a fact that most people are afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone because it's a change, and they're afraid of change, and they're afraid of failing. They are afraid of, for instance, being broke for a certain amount of time. They are afraid of lacking their existing level of lifestyle. They are actually fearing their existing, I would say, place of the anarchy. Anarchy, yeah. It's not the right word for that. Patriarchy, yeah, that's the right word. And they are really afraid of losing something in order to build something new. Yeah, it's a shitty thing, I would say. It's fucked. And this is what most people should work on, actually. To not be afraid of losing, not be afraid of failing your life. You need to fail in order to evolve. You need to fail in order to learn. And there's a great quote, and there's a great quote, I would say, like, winning without failing and losing is nothing. It means literally nothing. It's like you can't just go on and secure all these W's throughout your whole life, because then you literally won't actually have you won't literally contribute your whole life for these W's, because it would be like a constant thing in your life and you will get used to it. And as time goes on, you won't be like motivated by these W's that you've covered in your life. You need to take big ass L's from life in order to grow, in order to change, in order to get out of your comfort zone. And without failing, you won't even try it. And of course, when you're trying to do new things in life, then you will have to face more L's in front of you than W's. And it is what it is. You need to accept that. You need to move into these dark times as a great soldier. You need to be humble. You need to actually bend down your head. You need to keep moving forward. This is the only way. This is the only way. There's no other ways. There's no return. there's no like, oh shit, it really scares me, so let me just go back to my comfort zone, then actually you quit. And quitting is one of those things that you don't really want to experience, because after just one quit of your life, after you have quit once, then it will become a habit. And you don't want to build up a bad habit by quitting. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, and thank you. So we've been talking about the comfort zone, and we missed to mention that failing is a bad thing, and that must not be missed from this conversation, because of course when you're trying something new, it's literally impossible to not make mistakes, and that's acceptable. You have to accept that, because this is how we learn, by doing mistakes and learning from them. And it's a precious thing to have.
Yeah, and we cannot argue with the fact that it sucks. It so many times sucks that you fail. Yeah, and it's so many times sucks that you're afraid and stuff like that. Yes. And honestly, this is what actually challenges you. Because things that are easy are not a challenge in life. You can just do it. It's easy. Things that are sort of hard, yeah, that starts to become a challenge. That's a challenge. And then there are the things that are hard and suck. And getting through them are the real challenge. And getting through, for example, your fears, getting through failure is the hardest tasks, because you have this feeling inside that the feeling of being ashamed, the feeling of something holding you back, and it comes from deep down. It really comes from deep down. And you need a whole ass of mind control to fight with that. You need to take control over your whole fucking feelings. And honestly, I experienced so many times that, yes, sometimes it's just impossible to get through for a certain time. But after you're taking the steps of getting through failure, of getting through fears, you will find yourself one day when you actually did so. And yeah, it won't be easier. It never will be easier. You will just do it. And do it, and do it, and do it. And same thing with getting out of your comfort zone. And yeah, there will be times when you are stopped. But that's technically when we're talking about a failure. Failure in the failure, And you will be stopped, but the fact is to restart. Is to start again and again. And I think if you've got no other thoughts, then I would end the podcast here. If that's fine with you guys. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well. Sorry. So, closer quote from a comment. This is perfectly fit to the end. So, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you will never grow as a person, as an athlete, as a friend. you're gonna stay in the same goddamn place. Period. Yeah, true that.
Yeah. And you know what I could just really say is that, yeah, try to live a balanceful life. Try to focus on balancing out your life. Try to build routines. Routines are cool. And try to build your future also. Oh yeah, sometimes you have to care about the people's opinion, but the main thing is knowing when and where you should care about others' opinion, where you should use your routines, where and when you should live within the comfort zone, and also when is the time to get the fuck out of your comfort zone. And thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, then hit us a like and also subscribe. It is very appreciated. And of course, if you didn't like, you can also press your negative opinion or a dislike. That's always fine too. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where we also post about these podcasts, and we plan to have some special content there as well. And in the future we will come with videos, but we don't know when exactly. Thanks to the fact that, as I said, I'm sick, I'm in quarantine, so it maybe will be later, but we will come back with videos as well. And also another podcast that will come in the near future. Lastly, but very importantly, a share is the most helpful thing that you can do with us, guys. We try to spread the word, and we try to spread it about, I think, sort of important topics, or at least topics that are interesting. So if you find it good enough, then a share is just marvelous. And see you the next time.
Stay tuned.